Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the while statement or the while loop. It is a loop, so you know that a loop is a structure which is used to execute statements or a set of statements for a particular number of times or iterations. Okay, so the while loop, the generic form of the while loop is there is a condition while you write the condition which is tested after every iteration, and there are statements or the set of statements that are executed if the result of condition is true, and these statements are skipped if the condition is false. As for the for loop, if you remember, there is first the initialization of the counter variable, then there is a condition, and then there is increment or the decrement. To terminate the loop, if you do not increment or decrement, the loop will continue to execute for infinite number of times. So we need to change the value of the counter variable so that it ends at certain point. Okay, so again, for the while loop, you need all these three things. You need to initialize the variable, you need to put the condition on that variable, and you need to update the value of the variable counter variable so that the while loop, at certain point, the condition of the while loop turns out to be false and your program exits or terminates, or your loop terminates. Okay, so if the condition is false, okay, this is the structure. We can also use the compiler. So we will start with header files. So for the while loop, first you need a variable or its initialization. You can initialize the value or you can ask the user to enter a value. We will use the both. Okay, then there is a condition while a is greater than 0, and inside the body of the while loop you need to update the value of the a so that at certain point a key value 5, then it will be 4, then it will be 3, then it will be 2, 1, and then 0. When the value of the a is 0, the loop will terminate. So this is the structure of a while loop. This is the initialization, this is the while condition, and then there is increment or decrement. You can do anything here. You can print the value of a. Terminator is or you can write the new line. See, this is the while loop. You need to initialize the variable, then there is a while condition, and then the increment or decrement is inside the body of the loop. Okay, so we can see the example. I plus 1, this is the same one. A rule must be, we already did it. Okay, this is important. How we the flowchart of a while loop. In the flowchart of the while loop, first the condition is checked. If the condition is true, then the code block. The code block inside the body of the while loop is executed. If the condition is false, this section of the code is skipped, and then you go outside the body of the loop, and the instructions written next to the outside of the loop body, those instructions will be executed, and inside the body of the loop, those instructions are skipped, or statements are skipped. The skipped, okay, that is also done. We can write an example. Oh, factorial example. Okay, now you need to write a program that finds the factorial of a number using while loop. So if you want to find the factorial of a number, you will ask the user to enter the number. This is the number. So you will ask the user to enter a number for finding the factorial. Printf, enter a number. Scanf. Now, for the factorial finding, if you remember, the factorial is 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. So you keep on decrementing the value and you multiply them after one another, and then at the end you find the factorial of a number. So what would be the condition of the while loop? The a value will decrement until it's 1. So you can either write a greater than 0, or you can write a is greater than equal to 1. Both are correct. The loop will stop when the value of a is 1. Okay. Okay, it will check. Then what we need to do inside the body of the while loop, we need a variable named factorial where the result will be stored, and again we will initialize it by 1. The same reason, because it's a multiplication, so if you do not initialize it 1, the value would be 0, and anything multiplied by 0 would be 0. What we need to do here, we need to multiply the value of a with the factorial, and then decrement. So we will not display the value inside the while loop. Why? Because the value of the factorial will be calculated when all the iterations are done. So we will have the result when your control exits from your while loop. So here outside the body of the while loop, here you will have the value of your factorial. So we want to print the factorial of percentage %t is percentage %t. The factorial of a is factorial. There will be an error. We will see what the error is, and then we will remove it. Enter a number 6. The factorial of 0 is okay. Now we see where is the problem. 0. The first value a is 0. As I said earlier, this while loop will terminate when the value of a is 0. Here the value of a is 0, so that's why it's printing 0 here. We are the value of a is changing inside the body of the loop, so we need to retain the value of a so that we can display it here. So we can save it and num equals to a. So we save the value of a in another variable number so that we can use it here. The factorial of 5 is 120. Okay, so this is the while loop. Write a program that enters an integer from the user. The program should display the sum of all evens and sum of all odd numbers from 1 to n. Okay, we can write it. Write a program that enters an integer from the user. So we need a variable and we need to ask the user to enter a number. It's the same right till now. So we can use this one. Okay, what next? The program should display the sum of all even numbers and sum of all odd numbers from 1 to n. So all the even numbers between 1 to a and all odd numbers. Okay, so we need two other variables, evens and odds. Correct? How do we find if a number is even or if a number is odd? We need if condition, but before that we need to apply a loop here. Why? Because the loop will continue to repeat itself from 1 to a. We need to add the even and odd numbers from 1 to a. Let's say the value of a is 27. So how many iterations are required? 27 iterations are required. So first you need to write a loop structure here. We are using while loop. So what will be the condition of the while loop? While a is the value of a will be the number that you have already that you ask the user to enter. Let's say it is 27. So the condition of while a is greater than equal to 1. Is it correct? Will it execute up to 1 to n? Yes. It will start from 27 and 27, 26, 24, 23, 22 up to 1. It will execute from 27 times. So the body of the loop is correct. Now what else we need to do in this question is the program should display the sum of all even numbers and sum of all odd numbers. Okay, so now we need to write a condition for even numbers and odd numbers. If a percentage 2 is equal to 0. If this condition is true, then the given number is even number. So what we will do, we will add it even equals to evens plus a. This current value is the even number, so we will add it to a. Else, if this condition is false, it means the given number is not an even number. If a number is not an even number, then the given number is an odd number. So we will add it to the odds. Odds plus equals to a. If you remember, these are the two ways to write this statement. This will also equal to odds plus a. Now at the end we need to display those values, evens and odds. Again, we will not display it inside the body of the loop because we will not have the sum of all the values from 1 up to n until the loop executes n times. Here we will write printf sum of odd numbers is We will execute the program and see the result. So enter the number 78. Okay, it is executing. Number of 5, it's 9 and 7. If there is some error in numbers, you should initialize it with the 0. Let's say 6. Now we see if the result is correct or not. Okay, from 1 to 6, the odd even numbers are 6, 4 and 2. 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 2 is 12. The sum of even is 12. So sum of odds is 5, 3 and 1. 5 plus 3, 8 plus 1, 9. So the program is working perfectly. Thank you.